Society tends to sink into collective amnesia when it comes to female violence. Typically, women are seen as only capable of reactive homicide, which involves murdering in self defense, in a burst of passion, in a wave of hysteria, or in a disorder of hormones. Nonetheless, we tend to ignore or to forget that women are also capable of instrumental homicide, which can be plotted, which can be calculated, and performed in cold blood. My name is Manuel Morales Colorado. I'm 18 years old, and I am doing my degree in foreign language teaching at Universidad Católica de Oriente. And tonight, in this program, I want to unravel the story of a Hungarian countess. This is just to relate or to report the first chapter of the book we were to read for Integrated English 5. So, okay, first of all, I have to say that this book has its merits, has certain appealing elements which you should consider, which you should just try to give it a shot. I would wholeheartedly suggest you to read it because you're gonna find it an interesting opportunity to enrich your vocabulary, to enlarge your perception of how things were in past times, to understand some historic issues and geographical things as well. Now, let's hit the rock. We're going to talk about Elizabeth Bathory, who was a Hungarian countess who was born on 1560 in the heart of a ridiculously wealthy family. So much so that she spoke 5 languages, and she did it skillfully without any type of preoccupation, without any type of difficulty. So she could speak, for instance, she could speak German, Latin, Slovak, Hungarian, and Slovenian. These were just like the 5 languages, right? And at this time, there was an inclination or a penchant for inbreeding. So it could be a possible and plausible explanation for the epileptic seizure that this countess suffered from. So yeah, we just have to say that in this at this time, we're talking about the 17th century. A weak constitution among the nobility was the bread and butter, right? It was like the common thing to see. Now, despite all odds, our countess Elizabeth Bathory, she got married with Frederick Nadesdy, who was the son of another prestigious, rich, well-to-do family, Hungarian family, right? About their relationship, we can say that they had a long distance relationship. The point is that this man was a warrior. He was a really powerful, territorial, and war-thirsty man. He was dubbed the Night King. So he was just like a really powerful man, and he wanted to be involved in the battlefield, just decapitating or doing this type of things. Whereas Elizabeth, she was a woman of strong-willed character, of a strong-willed personality, and they both had a hobby or something that really connected them, and it was blood reciprocity. In their free times, they would love to go and torture some of their servants. So yeah, they were just like a little bit crazy, but anyway, those were the times, and they had power, treasures, and lands and castles. So that is the point. But in 1604, her husband died of illness. Frederick was out of the equation, and now Elizabeth had to assume the entire leadership, or the entire yeah, to assume all the properties, all the money, all the things. And now she was above the law because the king himself had some debts with Elizabeth. So this was like a really advantageous position for her, because she had all what she wanted. If she wanted to have some men, she would have them. And it is speculated that she was a lesbian. It is said that she, okay, one of the things that I dislike from her is that she bathed in virgin's blood in order to keep herself as a young and well woman. So that is like stupid, first of all, and secondly, can you imagine how many girls had to go, had to gone, no, had to undergone. Sorry, you will excuse me. Can you imagine how many girls had to be killed, had to be decapitated, had to be put on fire, dismembered, and all these things in order to satisfy her own desires? That is out of this world. It is completely nonsense to me. Now, the point is that when girls started to scarce, I mean, she killed nearly 600 girls. So it was like notorious. Women were not everywhere. Women they were very few left. So yeah, people didn't want to have her close, because they knew that she was coming for their daughters and things like that. So she was quite intelligent, because she met a witch. She met Anna Darvolia, and along with they gather a squad with her children's nurse and the washerwoman, and they simply started just collecting people for this thing, right? For this type of diversion and really interesting expedition, right? So in the end, people realized that she was like a murderer, that she had perpetrated long crimes, putting girls on fire, throwing them to the wolves, and so people started to take actions. The king himself sent a man called Georgi Thurzo for just an expedition to verify if the rumors were true or not. And yeah, they were. So Elizabeth Bathory was put into prison, and confined there for the rest of her days, right? This story is not a great reflection. It is not something spiritual, but it is really interesting the way the author describes all the events in a manner that you are going to be instantly engaged. So it is a quite promising story. You'd better just leave some time for it. And yeah, I would say that it is recommendable for all of them who want to enlarge their knowledge of English and their historical connaissance. I think it's a nice story, and in general terms, I liked it a lot. Okay, so what am I missing right now? In essence, recommendation is done. Life lesson, not really. This is not about that. This is not about motivation and things like these. Blood. That is what truly this guy is. That is where I truly despise the most. That is what I loathe. I mean, she was always like trying to touch somebody's blood, and she was always like trying to kill people, but especially virgins, young virgin girls. So yeah, I think those are just like the main issues. Thank you so much for your attention, and hope to see you later. Bye.